Right, here I am. Yeah, I'm out on the Street Triple 765 RS. Yeah, except I'm not alone. No, I've got Mrs TAYM behind. Don't think you can see her in the mirror. You might see a touch of her knee. Yeah, but that's about it. Yeah, so obviously taking it out to see what it's like to up. See what Mrs TAYM thinks of it on the back of possibly the naughtiest naughty bike out there. Not the most powerful, no, not the most quickest, but definitely one of the most naughtiest. Yeah, how does it cope to up? Because let's face it, naughty boys and naughty girls sometimes like to take a passenger. Yeah, so anyway, obviously we've been riding it about a little bit already. I just, what I want to do is just run through again what I think so far. Is it any different on the brakes? No. Is it any different on the suspension? Well, I'll tell you, on the suspension I've got it set quite firm, and of course with Mrs TAYM on the back, if we go over a big bump she gets bumped and that bumps into me. So that's what I'd say. So if you're gonna go to up, what I would say is soften the back suspension a little bit. I'd have to have a word with my mate Terry. A couple of naughty boys coming back from wherever it is they've been. Too fast. Yeah, too fast. Slow down. Rozzers might be about. What I will say though, from the riding point of view, is that for a naughty boy, whilst it does encourage you to go on a little bit, it's absolutely fine to them, and it behaves impeccably. I'll be very interested to see what Mrs TAYM thinks of it. What we're going to do, we're just going to go now and have a little sit down, perhaps with a blanket and a bite to eat. Yeah. Performance wise, you know, the bike is brand new. It's not running properly yet. It's not had its first service. Mrs TAYM is very precious to me. I take extra precautions. Yeah, I go a bit steady. So I haven't gone crazy, but this bike just seems absolutely fine as a general purpose bike. I know, crazy, isn't it? Hey up, Mrs TAYM's tickling me. Must mean she's happy. So what I think we can do now is we can go up here. Yeah, uphill to up in traffic. I wonder if it'll be an issue. So what I'm going to do now, I was going to test that hill. Now I think I'm going to go back round and we are going to go round to the watermill. I reckon Mrs TAYM would be quite pleased to go and see the watermill. Yeah, I do. And it also gives us a chance to see what it's like to up on a bumpy old Suffolk road. Yeah. Well, down here, this isn't so bad. It is bumpy, you might be able to see that, but it's alright. So down here, it's smooth as anything. Yeah, Mrs TAYM just grabbed me. Yeah, I know, we went over a bump. Maybe I should find more bumps, I don't know. But this little narrow lane, lots of bumps, bits of gravel, not going crazy, absolutely fine. Yeah, it's just lovely. Watch out for the pheasants. Oh, they always make me nervous. Yeah, so and when we get down here, we'll pop over to the watermill. Which you can just about see from over here. Where is it? Over there. So the quick shifter, absolutely amazing on it, but it was on the Tiger. It's bit and on the 1200RR, so I'm not expecting anything else. I think Mrs TAYM might think of it as a bit crude, because I can feel a jump a little bit when I change up. But from a riding point of view, it's smooth as anything. Yeah. So I think for 2 up, what I'd want to do, I'd want to soften the back a little bit and stiffen the front. That's what I've learnt from having Mrs TAYM on the back. That might be completely wrong. If Terry's watching this, he'll be able to tell us what would be the best setup. So again, more Suffolk bumpy old roads. So Mrs TAYM won't enjoy this, but at least we'll find out what she thinks. Won't we? Yeah. Marvellous. 30 miles an hour, Mr Triumph, if you please. There we go. And what we shall do, oh, look at the water. The water's very active, and in fact the mill looks open. So we'll spin round in here. And we'll go and pull up over here. Just here like that. There we go. Off you pop, Mrs TAYM. There we go. I thought, Mrs TAYM, you might like to come and just have a cup of tea here. Yeah. Is that alright?
To get off of there.
Oh, let's find out. Wait a minute, let's find out. But there you go. Triumph tag, a 765 RS. Yeah, let's go see what Mrs TAYM thinks. Right, here we are. Yeah, Pakenham Watermill. Lovely. There's a goat over there and a hippo. There's a rail goat though. Don't know if you can see that. That's marvellous. Over there, Triumph Street Triple 765 RS. Marvellous. Here, yeah, I waited for her to fill her mouth. Mrs TAYM. Mrs TAYM, before we get on to what you think of it, what it's like on the back, should we go and have a look at it first? Would that be alright?
You can.
No, I want you to come with us.
Okay.
I want to see what you think of it to look at.
Okay.
Right, here it is. Do you want to just stand on the other side of it, Mrs TAYM? Then you can, I mean, To me, I look at it and it's lovely. Yeah, there's a few oddities about it that it's not typical of what I would normally go for. But Mrs TAYM, what do you think? What do you think about the way it looks?
It's really pretty.
It's pretty?
Yes.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
And it's a naughty boy bike.
It is a naughty boy bike.
Or a naughty girl bike.
Or a naughty girl bike.
Yeah.
If you went and passed your test, would you have something like that?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. I knew it.
Yes,
She's
definitely. But yes.
What about the colour?
Love the colour.
Yeah. What about the sound?
Racy red. Don't like the sound.
Racy
much.
red. You don't like the sound?
I'm not impressed with the sound.
You're not?
Well, not from being on the back with my helmet on. It sounds a bit wasp in a bean can.
Wasp in a bean can?
Mm.
Oh, right. Okay.
Well, I know you like the sound. Don't you?
I love the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's marvellous. Triple engine, you see. It's got 3 cylinders, this.
It just doesn't have a brum.
It's not, no, I like the Thruxton or the Bonneville.
It's a naughty boy, it's not a naughty man.
It's a naughty boy, not a naughty man. Yeah, there's some truth in that there. I wish to be that age again. Yeah, marvellous. Right, shall we go back to our picnic now, and you can let us know what you think about it? Yeah. Right, Mrs TAYM. Come on then. You've been on the back of a few bikes. Tell us about this. What do you reckon? What's it like?
It's like a bike that's meant to be ridden by one person.
It's like a bike that's meant to be ridden by one person. Mrs TAYM's having a bit of a picnic. Falafel, apples, carrots, nuts, tomatoes. Very partial to tomatoes. Anyway, one person? What do you mean? You don't want to come with me anymore?
Not on that.
Not on that?
No, no. Compared to the Royal Enfield or something with a squishy seat.
Oh, the seat. So the seat's hard?
The seat's too hard, it's too small, and it's slippery.
Yeah.
So it's quite difficult to, and the suspension's a little bit on the hard side.
Well, funny you should say that, because I have got the suspension set quite firm. Because it makes it...
Did you do that especially because I was going on the back? Because I could have lost my teeth if I didn't realise early on that the suspension was as hard as it was.
I was as gentle as I could.
I nearly bounced off.
Did you?
Yes. I wasn't sure if that was deliberate or not as well.
Did you have a flashback to the Z900 Naughty Boy?
No, that's different.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan personally of being so high up.
So what she's looking at, ladies and gentlemen, the bike is behind the camera. So you're not a fan of it. What about the gear changes?
I am a fan of it. It's smooth and it's interesting hearing it going up through the gears.
Oh, you like that bit?
Yeah, that's okay.
It didn't sound like a wasp in the tin.
It's smoother than a manual gear change.
Oh, the quick shifter. Yeah. Yeah. What about the brakes?
I don't know, we braked, we stopped.
Yeah, we
didn't hit anything, so I guess they're fine.
So
they felt good, with 2 big lumps on the back.
So you wouldn't be recommending that as a winter bike and a 2-up bike for you and me to go off up to Yorkshire?
Oh my goodness, no. No, it's not a 2-up bike for us.
Is it not?
No.
Well.
No. That's a 2-up bike to go to the end of the road and back for me. My bottom, when you stopped there, was really painful, and we haven't come far.
Yeah. So, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. A massive thumbs up from me. Made no difference having Mrs TAYM on the back.
Did it not?
No.
Did I sit more upright? Because you said I was leaning forward too much. And I tried.
Yeah, you did, until we braked, and then you...
Oh, then I slide forward, so I can't help it.
Yeah, and you did bounce up in the air once.
Yes.
And landed on me.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. But apart from that, no trouble at all. Marvellous bike. Solo, obviously, exceptionally naughty. But as you've heard from Mrs TAYM, thumbs down.
thumbs down for pillion for me.
Thumbs down for
I
pillion.
wouldn't be rushing to
So,
go on there again.
Until Mrs Tame passes her test, that's it for her for the Triumph 765 Speed Triple RS. Yeah, well, we'll have the ride back when we've finished our picnic and maybe gather some thoughts. Marvellous. Say ta-ta, Mrs Tame. Right, here we are. Now, Mrs Tame wants me to show you how small the seat is that she is expected to sit on. Well, yeah, I mean, this is not as big as the Rocket, I'll give you that. Yeah, so anyway, that's what she wanted me to show you. I've shown you it, so I'm going to get on and then Mrs Tame can get on. Funnily enough, I thought you'd complain about the frog leg position of the high pegs on the seat, but you haven't, so...
No, I don't mind that, it just makes it hard to hold on with my knees.
Yeah.
I'm not bothered about the frog leg at all.
Ding! Oh, there we go. Yeah, marvellous. Oh, Mrs Tame's on board, car come in, everything's ready to go. And I'll try to get back without Mrs Tame being bounced off, shall I? Or shall I go a little bit quicker? I don't know. Anyway, it's been a marvellous picnic. Mrs Tame enjoyed her nibbles. I enjoyed a nice cup of tea. And funnily enough, the bike obviously feels the same, just as planted, but Mrs Tame feels a little bit more planted now. Maybe it's those tomatoes and falafel. Yeah. But anyway, obviously from a riding point of view is pretty important. Yeah, to me it makes no difference. Yeah, 2 up, solo, the bike is unaffected, which I wasn't really expecting. I thought it would be because of the type of bike it is. So there you go. But I'm a bit disappointed Mrs Tame didn't find it quite as comfortable as I'd hoped she might. But there you go. It'll be interesting to see what she thinks of the Suzuki SV650, because it's not totally dissimilar. No. Yeah, so that'll be interesting, won't it? But we did have a discussion about it. She said she wondered if she'd been unfair. I said, no, you spoke your mind, that's what you found. Someone else might find it different. But yeah, no, she won't be going on the back of it again, apparently. No. But what a marvellous bike to ride. Handling, sweet as a nut, 2 up or not. Performance, just absolutely fine. Yeah, I'm not caning it, just going around normal like. So there you go. I don't know if this will be of any help to anybody who's thinking of buying one of these to go 2 up with their missus, whomever they may be. Yeah, so there you go. Hope you've enjoyed this little video, and I'll catch you next time. Mrs Tame we'll be doing another one. I guess the next one's the SV650 followed by the Tungsten. I don't know, we'll wait and see. Ta-ta.